All right, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's just go straight with part one, okay?
Yep.
All right. Where is it? Okay, so now let's talk about snacks. When do you usually eat snacks?
Well, the time that I eat snacks is really dependent on how I feel. So whenever I'm feeling extremely dissatisfied with something that I did over the day, I will go into binge eating mode for snacks. For example, if I did really poorly at work, I would go home and buy a huge bag of chips and start munching on them. And overall, I would say this happens at most once a month.
Okay. Do you think it's healthy for you to eat snacks?
In general, snacks are considered to be unhealthy, but for me, I would say that not all snacks are as unhealthy as many people claim, because snacks could be things such as slices of apples or dried fruits, or even sometimes fried vegetables. These are considered at least somewhat healthy because they contain vitamins and fibers, which are definitely good for your health.
Did you often eat snacks when you were young?
Not so much. My mother had a vendetta against snacks, basically. So she really forbid me from eating most types of snacks as a child. Yeah, in general, if I were to eat snacks as a kid, I would generally bum it off of a friend or my cousins. My mother never gave me any snacks, and I really never had any snacks at home.
Okay. What snacks do you like to eat?
I have mentioned before that I really enjoy eating potato chips. And if I were to go into a binge snack eating mode, I would definitely pick potato chips as my primary choice. Aside from chips, then, as I have also mentioned before, I enjoy eating dried fruits or just fruit slices.
Okay. Now let's talk about puzzles. Did you do puzzles in your childhood?
In my memory, I have only done a single puzzle when I was still young. That puzzle was a jigsaw puzzle, which my friend gave me at the present, I believe. It might have been my cousin. I can't quite remember. It's been at least 30 years. But yeah, that was the only puzzle that I have ever done as a kid, and I did not even complete it in the end. I did it halfway and stopped.
Okay. When you do puzzles during a trip or when you feel bored. Sorry, sorry.
I
Sorry. When do you do puzzles during your trip or when you feel bored? What's the question?
well,
When do you do puzzle during a trip or when you feel bored? The question doesn't really make sense.
yeah,
When
the
do you
question
do?
doesn't make sense, but I will answer it anyway.
Okay.
Right. So I'm someone who never does any puzzles under any types of circumstance, except in this one case where if a group of friends asked me to join them in playing with a puzzle, that would be the one time I would start playing with puzzles. And that did happen about 12 years ago. Yeah,
Mm.
when a group of friends and I were at a party and someone brought out a puzzle, again, a jigsaw puzzle, and said, hey, why don't we try this out? And everybody joined in. So that was the only time that I recall having ever played with a puzzle after turning into an adult.
Okay, I see. Do you think it's good for old people to do puzzles?
Based on what I know, it's quite useful for the elderly to do certain types of mental exercises, and that does include puzzles. Um, Based on my education background in psychology, some of the research have shown that the elderly people who do puzzles tend to stay healthy from illnesses such as Alzheimer's disease. So I would say it's probably quite useful.
Okay. This is the end of your part one. Now we're going to move on to part two. Just give me a second. I'm trying to send it. Can I send it in the group?
Yeah, go
The
for it. Yeah, I'll check it out.
yeah, it's just still connecting. I'm using my iPad. Mm, all right, I sent it in the group. Did you see
All
it?
right. Hold on, let me. Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Okay,
All
I'm gonna
right.
start time you. So your 1 minute starts now.
Okay.
All right, AK, your 1 minute is up. You may start speaking now.
All right. Well, I'm someone who likes to travel a lot, and the one city that I really want to go again is the city of Shanghai. So the last time I went to Shanghai was in 2023 during the winter. So that's 2 years ago. And I went there with a couple of friends of mine. And that time it was both a business exploration trip as well as just a generic tourism trip. So the three of us were there together, and what we did were essentially three things. The first one was to visit the Bund. The Bund is obviously the most famous landmark in the city of Shanghai, where you could see the river and all the tall, big buildings in the Pudong area. The second thing we did was to visit numerous training schools for English. The three of us were at these schools trying to make some business happen, trying to strike some deals with the owners of these schools. And the third thing we did was to enjoy ourselves in some fine cuisine. So we went to a couple of Indian restaurants and Western style restaurants, and overall it was pretty fun. The city is obviously very lively. Everybody was there. It's super crowded. And overall, I think we really enjoyed our visit. So the reason for us, for me to want to visit it one more time is that I felt I wasn't satisfied with my trip last time because it happened so quickly and ended so quickly. There were so many things I still want to do. So if I were to go there again, I will visit some temples. I will see more opportunities, go to more schools. So yeah, that's the main reason I want to go again.
Okay. So now let's move on to part three. What's the difference between the city and the countryside?
Well, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the population and population density. In a city, most of the time, the population is going to be at least several hundred thousand, and it could go up to tens of millions. And when we compare that to the countryside, a village might have a few hundred people, maybe a couple of thousand at best. And we're talking about this in a broad sense, so not just China, but the world overall. So aside from the population, I would say the next biggest difference is the level of convenience. So in a city, there's public transportation everywhere, lots of hospitals and schools, while in the countryside, there's very little opportunity to have a public transportation system. And generally, hospitals can be hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away. Yeah, sometimes it
Mhm.
could be that far.
Some people say large cities are suitable for old people. What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that statement. When we think of someone who's an elderly, we would need to consider what an elderly person needs. And first thing that comes to mind would be healthcare. If an elderly person is living in a large city, they would be able to reach some of the best hospitals that their country has to offer within just a few minutes. They can call up an ambulance if something emergency happens, and they'll be sent to the hospital very quickly, and that could help them save their lives. So that's the main reason I believe a big city is the best place for an elderly person to stay in.
Do you think it's possible that all of the population move to cities?
I don't think that's possible at all. We definitely need the countryside for numerous reasons. And the first one is we definitely need to have the countryside for agriculture. Agriculture is something that can only be done in a vast open space. We can't really have a huge wheat farm in the middle of a city. It just doesn't work. We don't have the space for it. So in the countryside, we'll be able to plant all kinds of crops across a massive land area. And that crop will be necessary to sustain a population, no matter how small it is. The second reason is that even if a lot of people live in cities, people will need a natural getaway. The countryside offers that for most of the city folks. So if someone who is staying in the city gets completely frustrated with urban life, they can simply take a bus or drive down to the countryside and enjoy themselves and be one with nature.
Do you think people in the countryside are friendlier than people in the city?
I wouldn't say so. People tend to be friendly only with the people that they think they like. And it doesn't matter whether you're someone from the countryside or from an urban landscape. Uh, so, for example, someone from the countryside might not like you at all. And in this case, they will be rude to you no matter what. And even if you're in the city, you're dealing with someone in the city and they tend to like you at the first sight, then they will be friendly to you. So really, I don't think there is any difference when it comes to how friendly a person is versus where they're from.
Okay, that's the end of your speaking test. Thank you,
All
AK.
right. Thank you so much, Molly.
I think you did, that was terrific. I think you did very good.
All right. Thank you so much, Molly. And overall, I think actually my performance for IELTS speaking has improved, contrary to what Griggs thought. And the reason I say that is I don't feel the same level of intensity and nervousness versus when I first started doing these mock tests.
Yeah, there's really nothing that I have to like nitpick on. So I think you did perfect.
All right. Thank you
Okay,
very
you say something
much.
about me contrary to me? What did I do?
Oh yeah, you yesterday, or was it the day before, said that I was performing poorly versus my performance from a few mock tests ago. But this time, I think
Oh yeah, I
I
think you're
have.
you're 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 getting back on track today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think too.
Yeah, man,
Back
good
up,
work.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, good work. Okay. Oh, well, I was supposed to go to the gym, but right now it's 10:30. I just finished off my class with my student. I feel tired, so I think why would I just join in here?
All right, welcome over to our little group chat.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And,
Oh yeah, Jerry's down here too.
I'm
Yeah,
here
well-
too.
We got the
We
biggest
need
army ever.
we need to restart a group call because this one's ending in 10 minutes. Should I
Yeah.
Yeah,
create
yeah.
a link?
Please, Jerry,
Yeah,
repeat
yeah,
it
go
me.
ahead and
That's smart. I think we should just start a group call.
All right. Give me a
There's no
second.
time limit. Should we start a group
yeah.
call?
Fine,
Yeah,
that's a good
the
idea.
reason that we do a meeting is so it auto records to a cloud and we can share the link in the
Oh
group.
yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me start a call.
Jerry has a membership.
Yeah,
right?
he's
Oh my
the rich son of a
God.
bitch, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
80.
Let's ask
Wow.
him to open up a meeting, set up a meeting.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
Thank
leave
you.
this one then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See you.